It may be 61, but it's breezy down on that field. Partly sunny. Roof is open. Off we go. If you're not ready for this, it's too late. It's just flat out too late. It's the Cardinals and the Cowboys. 6-1 against 6-2. And Ted Ginn waits for the kick from Dan Bailey. Thanks for joining us today on Fox. And a little pop-up kick. Ellington will let it bounce. That wasn't a good idea. And sliding to save it is Ginn. And why that was not handled by Ellington, I have no idea. That was almost a brutal start for Arizona. Here's Carson Palmer. He's thrown for over 34,000 yards in his NFL career. 34-year-old quarterback rating of just under 100, and he seems to be in the very good hands of Bruce Arians, who knows how to handle a quarterback.
Yeah, Bruce Arians has worked with some good ones, of course. Ben Roethlisberger there in Pittsburgh. He had Peyton Manning early in his career at Indianapolis. Andrew Luck, and now he has the pleasure of working with Carson Palmer, a guy who just a few weeks ago we weren't sure we'd even see him again this season.
Blitz coming from Dallas to start the day. Palmer gets hit. This one is almost picked. Church came in with a diving attempt, and Carson Palmer gets a shot. The reason you say that, Troy, is because of that damaged nerve in his right shoulder, but he's back and he took a hit.
Well, the Cowboys don't have a lot of sacks, but what they have been able to do this year is they've been able to move the quarterback off the spot. And this time pressure just right in the middle on Carson Palmer by Tyrone Crawford, still looking for his first NFL sack of his career.
Blitz off the edge. Handoff is to Ellington, and he is brought down immediately by Anthony Hitchens. The rookie starting for the injured Justin Durant, who was lost last week with a torn right biceps. And here are the guys to keep an eye on. Larry Fitzgerald coming off one of his best days of his career, and they love that guy on the far end, Jaron Brown.
Jaron Brown coming off a big game as well last week against the Eagles. Carson Palmer has some dynamic playmakers there at the skill positions.
Five guys spread out. Pass is caught for a first down by Ellington. And that's a matchup that Bruce Arians talked about coming into this game. Spread them out and get Ellington on a safety or a linebacker, and that time good for a first down. Here are the defensive players to watch. There's Hitchens getting the start at weak side linebacker, and we'll see DeMarcus Lawrence, defensive end, who they traded up to get in this past draft. Pass caught. Carlson, the tight end. And he drags a couple of guys for some extra yardage. A gain of 12. Rolando Mclean on the stop.
Well, you talked about Bruce Arians liking some of the matchups. We saw the third down conversion to Andre Ellington, a guy who they would like to use more as a wide receiver. He's dealing with a foot injury. Haven't been able to utilize him as much, but they are there on third down. The Cardinals have come out throwing the football, and I expect that to continue because of some of the matchups that Arians likes.
Here they hand it off. Nice move. Ellington gets to the edge and has got another Cardinal first down. So a conversion on that first third down of the day. Now an 11-yard run, and Whedon, Nick Whedon, who's the starting defensive tackle, is injured. Maybe that foot's getting better for Ellington. Pretty good cut to get outside.
You know, we had Arizona in their only loss against Denver. I know in visiting with Bruce Arians then, as far as where Andre Ellington was, it was a concern. It's still a concern. They've been having to manage that throughout the season, but he is a special player.
Here he is again. And behind that offensive line, a group of five guys that came in without a lot of fanfare. group has done a nice job protecting Carson Palmer, now opening running lanes for Andre Ellington. Guys like Valdir and Larson, Senline, who was a college free agent, Fanica, Massey, who was a 4th-round pick. As a group, they're very good.
Well, they don't feel like they want to come in here and have something to prove. They've been reading all season long how Dallas has the best offensive line in football. This group's been pretty good all year as well.
Ellington starts in the slot. Carson Palmer is wrapped up and brought down by Melton. And a big sack for this Dallas defense. Only their 11th of the season as a team.
Well, Henry Melton had 2 sacks last week. He's right here in the middle. You see the job that he's able to do. Ted Larson's is the one who's responsible for blocking Henry Melton. He came off a major knee reconstruction a year ago. Just has not been completely healthy, and you wouldn't expect it this soon after the surgery. But I thought last week was his best game, and he's off to a good start with a great move there for the sack.
Now 3rd down and 12. Palmer steps up, fires, picked, intercepted back the other way. Patman, Tyler Patman down the sideline. A defensive score for Dallas.
See Tyler Patman right here at the slot. He's going to drift back into coverage, and Carson Palmer just loses sight of him. He thinks he's got an easy completion there on the dig route. Patman is underneath that throw in zone coverage. A great job of being able to secure the catch by Tyler Patman and then take it in for the touchdown.
That's only the 2nd interception thrown by Carson Palmer this year. And this one leads to 7 points. Patman takes it in. Melton got the sack to set it up. Just what Dallas needed, with Whedon starting today for the Cowboys.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Well, how about a defensive score? First NFL interception for a college free agent, Tyler Patman. And by the way, I said it was Ellington. It was Robert Hughes, 39, who let it bounce the last time Dallas kicked it to start this game. And now Ted Ginn will back out of the end zone. And Arizona will start at the 20. Well, how about that little shocker to start the day, with Arizona moving the ball and getting first downs, and Carson Palmer doing what he hasn't done, which is throw interceptions.
Yeah, he's done a great job. In fact, the entire team has. You know, they came into the game with just 5 turnovers, 2nd best in the National Football League. I think that's really what they've done best offensively, is protect the football. And here, the opening possession, Carson Palmer throws a pick 6. And you know, he has said that the reason the interceptions are down, he's got a much better feel in his 2nd season in this offense. But a big mistake on the last possession.
At 22 last year, his first year with Arizona. Wide open Floyd, his first catch in a couple of weeks. And he's got 11 yards and a first down. Michael Floyd did not have a catch in that come from behind win over Philadelphia last week, and over the last 4 games. Kind of been a forgotten guy, just 8 catches coming in.
Yeah, to the point to where, you know, I spoke with Bruce Arians and asked him what the health was of Michael Floyd. And you know, sometimes stats are misleading, but he got off to a great start this season. 200-yard games in the first 3 weeks, but hasn't been nearly as active, as you said, Joe, the last month of the season.
Here's Ellington. He gets 2.5. Meanwhile, our director, Rich Russo, showed you DeMarcus Lawrence. He's a rookie. The Cowboys moved up 13 spots to draft him out of Boise State. 2nd round pick. He broke his right foot at the end of July. And so now this kid is getting his first NFL action. And he's a guy that the Cowboys want to see step up. They could use him coming off the edge.
He was their best pass rusher in training camp prior to the injury. They lose Justin Durant for the year, but they pick up DeMarcus Lawrence.
Handoff is to Ellington, and Andre a gain of just 3. Third down coming up. McLean on the stop.
You know, you look at this Arizona offense, Joe, and they have had a tough time running the football. You know, they opened up the year and the first 2 weeks of the season had some success on the ground, but since that time it has really dried up, and it's a real concern when all of the pressure has been on Carson Palmer and his ability to get the ball to the guys outside with not much help in the running game.
Just 4 men on the rush. Third down and 5. Palmer fires incomplete. Brown the intended target with Church on him, and there was pressure by the rookie DeMarcus Lawrence on that third down play.
This is where DeMarcus Lawrence is going to get a lot of the work. Just coming off the edge right here. They get in his face. Carson Palmer was working to his left. Had he have started to his right, he had an opportunity for an open receiver, but another good stop defensively.
This ball just gets away. Harris waits. The Butler punt. And Dwayne Harris has it outside his 15. At the 17, we'll see Brandon Weeden when we come back. Cowboys up 7.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Well, what'll it be? NFL start number 21 for Brandon Weeden, former first-round pick of Cleveland. He is not in Cleveland anymore. He hands to Murray, and he's swallowed up immediately. Lost 2 yards on the play, and the top rushing offense will start the day with -2. And we look at this group. Williams is the understudy to Dez Bryant, and Mackenzie Bernardo gets the start for the injured Ron Leary at left guard.
Yeah, Mackenzie Bernardo and Ronald Leary, they were battling it out in training camp, and Ronald Leary out for this ball game. Bernardo, who was their starter at right guard last season, he gets the start, and he'll do just fine.
Blitz coming. They run right. Murray gets to the edge, and a nice gain on second down. He gets 11, and he's a yard shy of a first down. Cromartie on the stop, and I guess if you come in your Arizona's defense, you know you're going to see a lot of 29 here today with no Romo.
You know what we've seen a lot, though, from the Cowboys, especially on that Monday night game. They run the ball a lot on first down. They average over 5 yards a carry on first down, which is outstanding. But on second down, heavy pass. I'm sure defensive coordinator Todd Bowles was expecting pass there. The Cowboys handed off to Murray for 11 yards.
Well, they're all bunched in on third down and 1, and a first down from Murray, who's got more first down pickups than any player in the NFL. And he is over halfway to 2,000 yards for the year. Foot on the stop. And they've got some players. They are still injured and shorthanded defensively, but these guys, overall, the 24th ranked defense in the NFL. And there's coordinator Todd Bowles, who was here in Dallas and worked on the staff put together by Bill Parcells.
Well, considering all the injuries that they've had and the departures, Todd Bowles has had a great year.
Whedon out to his right. He's got Whedon. He found Whedon for a touchdown when he relieved Tony Romo last week on Monday night. Okafor on the tackle, a gain of 1.
Well, Brandon Weeden, and visiting with him, he decided to come to Dallas. He had a number of opportunities to go elsewhere, but he wanted to go to a team where he felt he would get a lot of work. Tony Romo was coming off the back surgery, so he got all the reps throughout the OTAs. He gets every rep on Wednesdays as Romo sits that day out during the week. There's not a more prepared backup to come in and play at the midway point in the season than Brandon Weeden.
Second and 9. It's Murray brought down from behind. And a good play by Calais Campbell. Let's go to Kurt with a game break.
All right, deeper in the heart of Texas than you guys are down in Houston. Texas boy Nick Foles hooking up with Jeremy Maclin. 59 yards with a touchdown reception. And the Eagles lead the Texans 7-0. Joe, Troy, and Aaron.
And people around here, Kurt, are paying attention to that because Philly comes in with a record of 5-2. They've already had their bye. Half game behind Dallas. 3rd and 10. Setting up a screen. They've got it. An easy first down to Dunbar and more. Still going. Down near the 30. There was nobody out there defensively for Arizona.
That's a great call by offensive coordinator Scott Linehan. 3rd and long, expecting blitz. Redskins were successful with it on Monday night. Nobody accounts for Lance Dunbar on the screen play. He's got blockers out in front. Zach Martin, what a great block he has.
Wow.
That's an outstanding job, and Romo likes it.
I mean, he just swallowed up his guy. And a first down at the 30 for Whedon. Here's a back shoulder throw incomplete for Dez Bryant. Look at this block by Zach Martin, the rookie, first-round pick out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, Rashad Johnson, the safety, he's the one just trying to get in the way and slow Dunbar down somehow. But Zach Martin, you know, really enough has been said about these 3 first-round picks on that offensive line. You know, they got power and strength, and they move people off the line of scrimmage, but all 3 of those guys can get out and run in space. They're great athletes for 300-pound men.
Tyron Smith left too soon. 2nd and 15.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Let's talk about Brandon Weeden. He was a pitcher. He was a 2nd-round pick, the first pick by the Yankees in 2002. Traded to the Dodgers in a Kevin Brown deal after 2005, picked up by Kansas City as a Rule 5 pick. Then he goes to Oklahoma State, redshirted. I mean, this is a 31-year-old guy who was drafted in the 1st round in 2012. And while the numbers, Troy, weren't that great in Cleveland, he didn't have much around him.
No, he did not.
Set the clock to 4 minutes, 42 seconds.
And Joe, he knew it was going to be a tough situation when he got there. I think he realized it was even going to be tougher than he imagined. And I asked him the other day if he wishes maybe he hadn't have pursued baseball. And he said, you know, baseball was always my love. From as far back as I can remember, I was committed to baseball 100%. It wasn't until he decided to put the glove away that football became an option, and he doesn't regret any of the decisions that he's made.
The defensive score has Whedon and the Cowboys up. Here's Murray out of the backfield. And there was no room out there because of the work done by Lorenzo Alexander. 3rd and long coming up.
Well, we've seen Calais Campbell now a couple of times come in off the edge and be able to get pressure at the end of these plays.
Ooh.
He knocks Brandon Weeden down, and the official right there taking a look at it. But what a great start for Brandon Weeden and the Dallas Cowboys. You've got the pick 6 by Patman, and then you throw a screen pass and you get down here, but now he's faced with another 3rd and long.
3rd down and 14. Whedon, that is dropped by Dez Bryant. Had a long way to go to get the first down anyway. And we'll see what the Cowboys want to do with the ball sitting at the 34. About a 52-yard try by Dan Bailey, who would get my vote for the best in the league. Franchise record, Troy, 14 field goals of 50 or more yards.
Yeah, his leg strength is incredible. If Dez Bryant catches that ball, like you said, he probably doesn't pick up the first down, but makes this a much easier attempt.
Breezy down there on the field, and so what? Says Dan Bailey. It's 10-0 Dallas on top. And he's now 16 of 17 for the year. 10-zip, Cowboys on top. Weather is pretty much ideal on the 2nd of November. It's week 9 around the NFL. 10-play drive orchestrated by Brandon Weeden. And it ends with a 52-yarder from Dan Bailey, who's going to kick it away to Ted Ginn Jr. It'd be really weird if he kicked it to Ted Ginn Sr. Well, the vet is helping the younger guy, kind of younger. Romo and Whedon. Dallas up 10-0. Sunday Fun Day's coming later, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. 1st and 10 from the 20. Arizona, 3rd possession. Floated for Fitzgerald, and so far Carson Palmer's a little bit off here at the start. Tonight on Fox, Sunday Fun Day, brand new night of the best comedies on television. It all starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, tonight on Fox. So brand new episodes tonight and brand new episodes every week in the NFL. 10-0 Dallas. 2nd and 10. Ellington. Flag is thrown as Ellington got 3.
Illegal hands. Hands to the face. Defense, number 55. That 5-yard penalty will be added at the end of the run. 1st down.
It's Rolando Mclean, which gives the automatic 1st down to the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's a significant penalty. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Instead, it's a 1st down. There's Rolando Mclean in the right hand to the face mask. Rolando Mclean, as we've talked about before, when we've had these Cowboys, the year that he has had and the addition that he has been for this team, a real playmaker. He had a tough game on Monday night against the Redskins, missed some tackles, a number of guys did. That was a costly penalty.
Here's a good play in the backfield, a missed tackle, and Ellington gets smoked on the boundary by J.J. Wilcox. Kurt Menefee standing by with a game break. Kurt.
Well, Nick Foles throws his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. Unfortunately, it's to the Houston Texans. Hit as he throws, it's picked off by A.J. Boye, and he takes it 51 yards to even the count at 7 in the 1st quarter. Joe Troy and Aaron.
Kurt, thanks. The Eagles could not hold down the Arizona Cardinals last week in the 24-20 final.
Yeah, big reason for that loss was the turnovers that they had in that game.
2nd down and 8. Handoff is to Ellington, and over the right side, he picks up 6.
Well, Ellington's had a little success running the football, which is good. You mentioned it just a moment ago, Joe, that Carson Palmer, off to a tough start, just not really seeing the field all that well. He had the interception, and then on that previous pass play that we saw, just a miscommunication between he and Larry Fitzgerald and what the two of them were expecting of one another.
Ellington last year averaged over 5.5 yards a carry, which was best in the NFL. He waits back there on 3rd down and 2. He's only at 3.5 yards a carry this year. Palmer's got Fitzgerald, and Larry Fitzgerald's got a 1st down near the 35. And there you go, Troy. It's 3rd down and short, and they will take a shot at any time.
It doesn't matter. And when you come up and press these guys, here's what's going to happen. And you've got Larry Fitzgerald, who then is in the slot. He's got all that room to work the field and use his speed. It's an outstanding route on Orlando Scandrick and a well-thrown ball by Carson Palmer. And you called it, Joe. Anytime, anywhere on the field, they will take a shot if it's there. And if you press them, doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 2 or not, they're going to take it downfield.
That's what Carson Palmer loves about this offense. False start, Arizona.
False start. Offense, number 15. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Carson said with Bruce Arians, we'll take a shot anytime. Doesn't matter the situation, as they proved last week on the game winner against Philadelphia. But he said, I don't have a receiver that's screaming for the ball. He used to throw to Chad Johnson. But he'll spread it around. He's got a rookie in Jaron Brown who he lockers next to. They are an attack that can get you a lot of ways. They're 6-1. 1st and 15, pass is caught. And that is the rookie, Jaron Brown, 23rd catch of the year, good for 10.
Well, that was a really well-thrown ball by Carson Palmer, because the defensive back for the Cowboys, he read this the entire way, and Palmer had to stick it on Brown. Sterling Moore was in a position to drive on that ball, and it's really the only place that Palmer could put it. It's an excellent job of putting it on the receiver and allowing him to make a play.
Here's Ellington. Short of a first down. Hitchens in there to help make the stop. Lawrence as well. A couple of rookies combining on that stop. A gain of 2, 3rd and 3 coming up. Under a minute to go, first quarter.
This is Anthony Hitchens. He's had some opportunities already this season. 4th round pick out of Iowa, and he is 100 miles an hour, Joe. He plays downhill. He's aggressive. He's not an overly big guy. But they've got him playing the will linebacker position for Justin Durant.
Durant, the top tackler, lost for the rest of the year with a torn biceps last Monday night. 3rd down. Pass is caught. That's a first down. And one of the rare catches by Jaron Brown. Only his 4th of the year. So a conversion with 10 seconds left in the opening quarter. And here's Arizona at the Dallas 22. And that's going to do it for the first quarter. Good to be back with you there, number 8.
Yeah, welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, good to be back. There you go. 10-0. Back after this from your local Fox station. After the catch by Jaron Brown, first down for Arizona at the Dallas 22. There's your little stat pack after one quarter. That bottom line, the biggest of the first quarter, the interception by Palmer, returned by Tyler Patman for a touchdown. Here we go. Carson Palmer sets up. Hands off. Ellington right side. Comes upfield. Picks up 2. Nick Hayden on the stop.
You know, this Dallas defense, Joe, when you watch them, you know, they have surprised, as we know, a lot of people coming into the season, the things that they've been able to do. And if you didn't know who the names were, who was out there on the field, and you just watch the film and watch the games, I mean, this group really flies around the football much better than they've gotten credit for, really. I mean, now that offense protects them and their ability to control the line of scrimmage and control the clock, but they've got some guys on this defense that have really stepped up and played at a high level this year.
And that's the last thing Dallas needs, is to lose Anthony Hitchens. He's out on the sideline. Ellington at the top of your screen. Pass is, what a catch by Fitzgerald. And Larry Fitzgerald's going to spin forward for a first down. A good catch in traffic.
You see Larry Fitzgerald inside, and he makes those kinds of catches look routine. He's pretty impressive. He's got defender all over him, Kyle Wilbur, and yet he's still able to haul that in. They were about ready to write him off. Yeah, earlier in the year. He had that game last week and ran away from some defenders and kind of put a lot of those questions to bed.
On first down, Palmer steps up, gets rid of it, and almost got a touchdown. Thought he was throwing it away to avoid a sack. Carlson was the intended target. Selvey almost wrapped up Carson Palmer.
As I said earlier, the Cowboys have been able to get pressure on quarterbacks. They're able to get through on him, and Carlson, I was wondering what happened as to why he wasn't able to make the catch. Selvey got a hold of the face mask. It looked like they're on Carson Palmer, but Carlson, who put together some big years there when he was with Seattle, he drops one.
Delayed handoff, Ellington. Mclean made the stop. Troy, I don't care what Carson Palmer says, and he's a positive athlete, but there was no guarantee that that nerve was going to start firing again in his throwing shoulder. And when we talked to Bruce Arians, his head coach, he said, I didn't know. I didn't know if we would get him back at all. They put on a brave face. But he saw Peyton Manning's doctor out in Denver. He had a therapy that he thought made a big difference, and here he is. And he looks like he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, that's kind of when it all turned around for him, is when he went out to Denver.
Thirteenth play of this drive. Palmer over the middle for the touchdown. And he's got Carlson this time John hangs on for his first of the year, and the Cardinals are on the board.
Well, the Cowboys, they come with a three-man rush, and that's why you can see the defensive lineman here. He drops out. You've got three guys on the rush, and it affords Carson Palmer a lot of time then to try to find the open guy. Even with dropping 8 defenders into coverage, you give a quarterback that kind of time, somebody's going to get open, and this time Carlson secures the catch. What a good drive. 3 third-down conversions on that drive, including on the touchdown.
And it's a 3-point game. 10-7. Carson Palmer has touchdown number 9 on the year. Good game here in Arlington, Texas. Cowboys up 3. The Arizona Cardinals have huge tight ends. Carlson 6'5", 248 out of Notre Dame. His backup is a guy to the right. They just got him back. Troy Nicholas is 6'6", 270. Second-round pick. Been bothered by a bad ankle. Missed the last 3 weeks. The other guy is Rob Hausler. They help block for Ellington, and now Carlson has his first touchdown of the year. It's a 3-point game as Catanzaro drills it. Harris will return it from about 5 yards deep. Across the 20, out to the 22, brought down by Demmons. 27-yard return. Here comes Whedon with his Cowboys up 3.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. By the all-new LG G3, the world's first smartphone with laser autofocus. And by Burger King. For a limited time, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49.
It's 2 of the 5 teams with 6 wins left in the NFL meeting here today. Brandon Weeden, the backup for Tony Romo, out with 2 small fractures in his low back. For the second time Dallas has had the ball. They lead by 3 thanks to a defensive touchdown. Murray left side, and DeMarco gets 2. About an injury update on Nick Foles. Here's Kurt.
Yeah, it's not a good situation. Foles sacked by Whitney Merciless. Falls on his left shoulder, leaves the game with an injury. They say his return is questionable. Mark Sanchez now in at quarterback for the Eagles. Joe, Troy, and Aaron.
All right, Kurt. Well, we saw Chip Kelly light up about Mark Sanchez.
He loves Mark Sanchez. Doesn't think the offense would suffer at all if he has to come in, and we're going to find out.
So opportunity there for Sanchez. Opportunity here today for Whedon. Tossed to Dunbar running right. 3rd down and long coming up as Cromartie came off the edge to make the tackle.
Well, the big question coming in was whether or not the Cowboys were going to be able to have success running the football. DeMarco Murray has a 10-yard run. Other than that, Joe, this defense has held up very well. Now, the Cowboys, this is the second time they faced the league's #1 ranked run defense. When they faced Seattle about a month ago, they were #1 at the time, giving up just 62 yards a game. The Cowboys went for 162 yards. So there's still a lot of football left to be played, but through a little over a quarter, this defense has been very good.
Blitz coming. 3rd down and 8. Pass is incomplete. No flags as Whedon went down. And he was under heavy pressure. Alex Okafor was right on his back.
Well, Okafor, he comes off the edge. Just nobody accounts for him, and that's not one that Brandon Weeden is expecting. He had a clear shot on Brandon Weeden. But last week, we saw a number of times the Redskins with free runners on the quarterback. This time the Cardinals get one with Okafor.
Good punt by Jones. Again, from the 25. Forced out of bounds by Escobar. 17-yard return by Ginn. There's the hit by Okafor on Whedon. Cardinals have it as they trail by 3. Arizona Cardinals are currently the #1 seed in the NFL. Seeding started back in '75. They've never been a #1 seed. If the season were to end today, Dallas has been it 5 times. Here is Ellington, a nice run on 1st down. A gain of 6. So Carson Palmer is the last man standing from this draft class in 2003. Carson didn't play that first year. John Kitna did, but look at all these names that have come and gone in the NFL. 13 quarterbacks drafted, and Carson the only one still going, and he's playing well.
He sure is. And when he came into the league, Joe, I really felt he was going to be an absolute superstar. He had that major knee injury in the playoff game against the Steelers.
Here is Grice, and a running back they picked up from San Diego's practice squad, good for one.
And that became a pretty tough situation for him there in Cincinnati. Of course, he held out the trade. He went to Oakland, and now here he's found himself a home. But I think he's one of the more gifted quarterbacks to come into this league when he did.
Well, he's smart. Heisman Trophy winner. Hitchens was in, so he's all right. Back on the sideline on 3rd down and 3. Palmer throws, pass too low for Brown, and it's 4th down. Brown was open. Palmer missed him.
Yeah, it was just a miss. That should have been an easy conversion. I like what Bruce Arians does. They motion John Brown down, and then it forces Sterling Moore to play soft. He can't then press him. And with all that space, you don't see Carson Palmer miss that very often.
End over end by Drew Butler. Fair catch, hauled in just outside the 15 by Dwayne Harris. So a miss on 3rd down by Carson Palmer. Dallas has it again, under 10 to go, up 3.5.
Today's game is sponsored by your next truck, Ford F-150.
John Wayne riding toward the sunset. That music. 1st down. From the 22. Make it from the 17, and now flag thrown as Murray crosses the 20, and it's against Dallas.
Holding. Offense, number 44. The penalty's half the distance to the goal. Replay, 1st down.
Well, it's been 8 straight 100-yard games to start the season for DeMarco Murray. And he's got his work cut out for him today if he's going to make it 9 in a row. He's already got the NFL record.
Yeah, the only real blemish for him is they take a look at Andre Ellington over there. Wonder if they're putting him through the protocol that you would if he suffered some type of head injury. Ellington, who's ran the ball very hard here in this first half.
Now 1st and 18. Play action. Whedon is in trouble and finds Whedon. And Whedon with a minimal gain of just 1. And Brandon Weeden was awfully calm while he worked in his own end zone. That was close.
Well, he's able to move just enough to get the ball off. You're right. I mean, they had 2 defenders that were there in his face with an opportunity to make a play on him. They've gotten some pressure here on Brandon Weeden here in this first half, but he's able to avoid it. Not much of a gain, but he avoids the potential sack safety.
2nd and 17. Screen for Murray. Campbell slows him down. DeMarco Murray to the middle of the field. Gets a little breathing room out to the 15-yard line, a gain of 5.
That's kind of exciting. You know, you talk about DeMarco Murray, Joe, in the year that he has had, really the only blemish has been the fumbles. He's put the ball on the ground 5 times. He's lost all 5 of those, and I think that Monday night game would have been a different ball game had he not have fumbled where he did after the big gain. And you know, but he's too good. There's not many backs that are good enough to continue to play when they put the ball on the ground the way that he has, but they're riding him and they're dealing with whatever the consequences of that are.
3rd down and 12. Whedon slings it sideline, incomplete. No flag. Dez Bryant got up looking for one on Patrick Peterson. And we'll take another look. It's 4th down.
You can see the safety here. He's going to work towards Dez Bryant, and so Peterson knows that he's got a little bit of help. He can play him tight, and he does. Does an excellent job. There definitely is some contact at the top of that route. Patrick Peterson, who typically does not go with the other team's best receiver week in and week out, has been shadowing Dez here this afternoon.
Good punt by Jones. Back-to-back 3-and-outs. Forced by this good Arizona defense. And the running game has yet to get on track for the Dallas Cowboys, who punt it to the Cardinals. Dallas up 3. One thing the Dallas Cowboys have been able to do this season is run the ball and therefore keep the ball and limit the exposure of this Dallas defense. They can't run it today. To this point, only 13 rushing yards. So another possession for Arizona's offense, down by 3 over the middle drop by Robert Hughes. Carson Palmer has been under pressure today by this Dallas defense.
Well, he really has, and as I said, the Cowboys have done a good job of pressuring the quarterbacks throughout the season. They just haven't been able to accumulate many sacks, but Henry Melton, coming off 2 sacks last week, has one here in this game, and he helps them a lot. And then, of course, with the return of DeMarcus Lawrence, who missed all season, they're hoping he can provide a little something as well.
Second down and 10. Palmer, quick setup, no throw, and now the pass dropped by Carlson, who has a touchdown. So this Dallas defense, which started the year with no DeMarcus Ware, he's in Denver, no Jason Hatcher, he's in Washington. Sean Lee, their top linebacker, lost to a torn left ACL. They lost Claiborne, now Duran. No defense has faced fewer plays this year than Rod Marinelli's Dallas Cowboys defense. This will be the 31st play they face with over 7 to go in the first half. That's well above their season average. Third down and 10. Palmer steps up and is going to buy time. He's been moving well in the pocket. It pays off. First down, Floyd. And they say Palmer's moving around better than maybe he ever has. Sliding in the pocket, good for 12 to Floyd.
Well, this time the Cowboys, they bring the blitz off the edge. Tyler Padman comes right here, and they're not able to get to Carson Palmer, and he's able to escape the pocket and buy just enough time. That was a big third down for the Arizona Cardinals to start this drive with great field position. That would have been a great job of the Cowboys forcing a punt after a 3-and-out, but Carson keeps the play alive, and it's first down.
Good work by Palmer. Handoff is to Ellington to the edge. Andre Ellington with a nice carry inside the 35, knocked out near the 31. A 19-yard run by Andre Ellington.
The Cardinals do a good job of securing the edge, but this is another missed tackle by the Dallas Cowboys, something that hurt them Monday night. Brandon Carr this time has an opportunity. He overplays it and allows Ellington to get on the edge.
So already in field goal range with over 6 to go in the first half. First down for Arizona at the Dallas 31. And they are going to have to hurry up. Play clock at 8. And a timeout taken by Bruce Arians. Came off the sideline.
Timeout, Arizona. The 30-second timeout.
So with that, we will welcome you inside our broadcast booth for the awkward shot of 2 guys in suits just talking into the camera. What have we seen so far? We've seen good defense, I think, most recently by Arizona, and a big defensive score by Dallas to start the scoring today.
Yeah, Joe, that's been the key in this ball game for Dallas. Obviously, the interception for the touchdown. The Cardinals have moved the football. The Cowboys, beyond that, really haven't done a lot. They were able to get downfield and come away with the long field goal. But Brandon Weeden, he's been under some pressure, but they have not been able to get any plays down the field in the passing game. And the Cardinals have shut down that running game. We'll see whether or not it can continue as we move through this game.
Well, the Cardinals defensively seem to be able to suffer whatever they're handed and just keep on plugging away. On first down, it's Ellington right side's got blocking. He's down near the 10. They faked the play to the near side, threw it to the right side, and a 20-yard catch and run by Andre Ellington.
Yeah, you try to get everybody flowing to the left. Carson Palmer, once he gets the ball, he's going to act like he's throwing the quick wide receiver screen to his left. He comes back. Ellington slides underneath it. It's a well-designed play, good execution.
Sendline was out in front of it. The 8th-year center out of Texas. And it's 1st and 10 with the ball at the 11. Now almost like a tight end screen left side, and Carlson can't make the catch. He had blockers in front of him.
Yeah, the ball jumped up on him pretty good. And we saw the one that he did drop in the end zone. This ball here, Carson would have given him a little bit easier throw, but Carlson he had blockers out in front of him too, and they would have picked up a pretty nice game.
2nd and 10, Cardinals. Dallas 11.
Carlson's got the only touchdown for Arizona. Tyler Patman the only touchdown at corner for Dallas. Ellington going to try and reverse field and then slides down, avoids a hit by Wilcox. No gain, 3rd down coming up.
That was a good decision by Ellington getting on the ground. And you know, J.J. Wilcox, here in his 2nd season, he's become a much better football player than he was a year ago. And one thing that he really likes to do, and what Rod Marinelli loves about him, is he loves contact, and he was going to lay it on Ellington. That was self-preservation there on his part.
Ellington not that big, 5'9", under 200 pounds. Now 3rd and 10. Palmer, end zone, touchdown, what a catch, Jaron Brown. That's his 1st of the year, and the Cardinals take the lead, but a flag is down late. And they have it thrown just outside the end
Pass
zone.
interference. Defense, number 13. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Defense number 13 might have been playing number 13, and it's a touchdown for Carson Palmer.
Well, Brandon Carr was sitting on the route. I mean, he's not going to go any deeper into the end zone, so he was in a position to make a play. That was just a perfectly thrown ball by Carson Palmer. So he's had a couple get away from him, but he's thrown some real strikes, and that was one.
And for Palmer, 2 touchdowns, and they both come on 3rd downs. This is a good one from number 3. The veteran has got his team in 1st place and now in the lead today for the 1st time in Texas. How about Jaron Brown, 2nd-year player out of Clemson? He came in with just 3 catches all year. The frustration by Orlando Scandrick. And it's Jaron Brown with 2 catches today, the latest for an 11-yard touchdown. And this defense, which came in, nobody expected anything out of the Dallas defense. So far this year, they're 14th ranked, but as we said, not exposed to many plays because of the way the ground game has worked for Dallas. Dallas comes in with 161 rushing yards per game. They have only 13 here today. Catanzaro will kick it. And Harris will take a knee. So Brandon Weeden will start down by 4 at the 20, 4.5 to go. 3 timeouts. Minor league pitcher, played for the Yankees, Dodgers, Royals, Oklahoma State football from 2008 through 2011. Beat the Andrew Luck-led Stanford Cardinal Fiesta Bowl, 41-38. 1st round pick for the Browns, 22nd overall. Oldest player ever taken in the 1st round at 28. Released by the Browns after a 5-15 record as a starter. And after a weird contract thing with Kyle Orton, who's now starring for the Buffalo Bills. Here's Whedon, the backup for Tony Romo. For a 6-2 Cowboy team. Here's Whedon, nice throw. And Whedon out across the 35 with a 1st down for the Cowboys.
Well, they come out now here on 1st down. Jason Witten with a good release off the ball in that zone coverage, and Brandon Weeden finds him, and he needs to make a few more of these types of throws and start gaining a little bit more confidence in their ability to throw the football against these Cardinals, because they have not run the ball for the 1st time this year, Joe, in this game.
Cardinals come in ranked last in the NFL against the pass. Put it up again. Whedon slides and pass interference is going to be called on Peterson as he got an arm around Dez Bryant.
Well, here's that matchup. Patrick Peterson and the right arm's going to come around the waist of Dez Bryant as he tries to then extend the left arm to knock the ball down. And
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. That ball would place with a spot foul, automatic first down.
For a minute there, Joe, it looked like they were going to let that go, and I thought, wow, this is going to be a pretty physical matchup if they're going to let that kind of contact go at the top of that route. But they get the flag. First down, Dallas.
For Patrick Peterson, that's his 5th pass interference call this season. He also has 4 defensive holds. The 3-time Pro Bowler. Here's Murray. And DeMarco down inside the 40, just inside the 39, a gain of 6.
Pretty strong finish there by DeMarco Murray at the end of that play. And there's Dez Bryant. You talk about the game that he had on Monday night. You know, by his standards, pretty modest. Just 3 catches in that game for 30 yards. And Redskins did a pretty good job against him. And so far, Patrick Peterson, he's held up pretty well, too, even though he did get called with the penalty on that play.
Second and 3, Whedon. Pass is caught for the first down, Murray. Good block by Mackenzie Bernardo to protect Whedon. A catch of 5 yards and a first down, Dallas.
Well, you're not kidding. There was a nice pocket there for Brandon Weeden to step up and deliver the football. I know in visiting with him, one of the things that he was really focused on in this game was just not holding the ball. You know, as I said, 5 sacks Monday night. He knows he's going to see some pressure from the Cardinals and just wants to get it to the guys who can make plays for him.
It's Arizona defense missing 28.5 sacks from a year ago. Because of injury, suspension, and free agent departure. Here's Williams downfield and worked on by Cromartie, incomplete. Here's Joel Klatt with a game break. Good game there in Houston. And you can see Bryant shaking his head. 2nd and 10 as Dez is on the sideline. Blitz. Here's Murray kicking his way. What a run. Down outside the 15 and a first down for Dallas as we approach the 2-minute warning. 17-yard run, and there was a lot of contact for DeMarco Murray. First down, Dallas, when we come back as they trail by 4. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Welcome back to the action. 2 minutes left. Good drive being put together by Brandon Weeden. 4 first downs. It's a first down play. Murray doing all he can. Well pursued, and DeMarco Murray is going to be dropped for no gain. Patrick Peterson out there to make the tackle. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a great job by Patrick Peterson being able to make a play on DeMarco Murray like he was able to. Patrick Peterson, who suffered a concussion last week, some early concerns during the week as to whether or not he'd be able to play, but that's outstanding for a guy who's regarded as one of the best cover guys in all of football.
Whedon is brought down. Sacked back at the 25 by Dan Williams. And a big sack to bring up 3rd and long. A loss of 9.
Yeah, Dan Williams right inside. He's right here over the nose. Travis Frederick is the one who's trying to handle him, and he splits it.
Loss of 9.
He's able to get Brandon Weeden. Brandon Weeden was looking for Dez Bryant. Jason Witten came clear, but it was too late. Williams had already gotten to him.
First sack of the year for Dan Williams, and for Arizona, only their 8th. They've been frustrated not getting sacks. That was a big one. Now 3rd down and 19. Handoff is to Murray. And DeMarco Murray is going to make the field goal try that much easier for Bailey, a gain of 8. Acho on the tackle for Arizona. And the field goal unit will come on. The Cowboys will let some time leave the game clock, and almost fumble number 6 for DeMarco Murray. That nearly knocked out.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, you saw that it started to move a little bit, and said he never had a problem with fumbling until this year, but he's made up for wherever he was good at in years past.
35-yard field goal coming up. But first, what's coming up at halftime, Kurt?
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll catch you up on everything happening all around the league here in Week 9, including Alex Smith with a wild and crazy touchdown you've got to see, and A.J. Green returning to the field in Cincinnati. It's all coming up on the Visa Halftime.
Kurt, thanks. We'll have the 35-yard try from Dan Bailey, who was already hit in this game from 52. Cowboys will get the ball to start the second half. It'd be a 4-point or a 1-point game. It's going to be a 4-point game blocked. And now return. Maybe it'll be more than 4 points. Peterson on the return. It's Whedon downfield to save a touchdown. You think the 32-year-old, 12-year pro Jason Whedon is mailing it in at this point? He just saved a touchdown and who knows what for the Dallas Cowboys. That was impressive as Bethel blocked it.
Well, just a great job of Bethel coming off the edge. You wouldn't expect from that distance to see a blocked field goal like this, but he's able to lay out with speed. Nobody gets a hand on him. And a good thing for Jason Whedon. Otherwise, Patrick Peterson takes this thing to the house at the end of this half.
I mean, Patrick Peterson, one of the best return guys in the NFL. He's been a Pro Bowler because of that. And the Cardinals, their 18th blocked field goal, 2nd of the year since 2008. And Whedon, the hustle by number 82, saved a touchdown. Here we go. Visa Halftime coming up now. 4-point game in Texas. Team 10 game as we get ready to begin the second half here in Arlington, Texas at AT&T Stadium. Today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. Carson Palmer, his right arm has accounted for all but 3 points today. The pick 6 and then 2 touchdowns followed. 14-10 Arizona with a record of 6-1. Currently the number 1 seed in the NFC. Harris backs out of the end zone, and before the start of the second half, at least from scrimmage, let's go down to Erin Andrews.
Joe, I talked to Bruce Arians coming out of the half, and he said his defense did exactly what they set out to do, stop DeMarco Murray. He said he did pop 1 or 2 runs out of us, but we're going to look to continue that here in the second. Another thing he's telling his team he wants, Brandon Weeden on his back. Jason Garrett said we've got to keep some drives alive here, and Whedon has to stay steady for us, Joe.
Yeah, Aaron, he was good the last time they had it. Got it down into deep into Arizona territory, but a big sack by Dan Williams. Threw a wrench into that drive. Here's a pass behind Dez Bryant from Brandon Weeden. And Dez Bryant has required a lot of attention so far here today.
Well, he sure has. You watch Patrick Peterson, and he's going to get up and press him. There's going to be contact. He's been called already, but you have to get up on Dez Bryant and play physical. You have to play his kind of game to have any type of success with him, and then it's a matter of whether the officials let you play that way. But Brandon Weeden had an opportunity on that first down pass and just made a poor throw.
Here's Murray right side. 3rd and long coming up. So far, Dez Bryant has been targeted 5 times, does not have a catch. And if you look at the numbers in the 6 wins for Dallas, he's been targeted at least 10 times a game, averaging 7 catches, 89 yards. In the 2 losses, he's kind of a lost guy. He averages 4 catches for 43 in today's Zippo.
Well, you can be assured that the frustration is starting to mount for Dez Bryant. They like to get him involved early so that he doesn't get frustrated because he wants to take over a football game. We'll start to see that come out if they don't begin to get the ball into his hands.
Blitz coming from Arizona. Whedon is protected. Pass out of the reach of Bryant. He had Beasley underneath. Bryant was led too far, and Brandon Weeden, not a good throw. It's 4th down.
Well, he had an opportunity. He actually does a great job of hanging in the pocket because he knows he's going to get hit, and then can he deliver a strike to allow Dez Bryant to make this catch? A good route there by Dez Bryant, but just too far out in front of him for him to be able to make the play.
3rd punt for Jones. Not as pretty as the first 2. And it will hop out of bounds near the 40. We'll take a break, and the team on top at 14-10, led by Carson Palmer, back to the field here in Arlington.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Burger King. For a limited time, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. And by Miller Lite. Back in its original look, it's Miller time.
Back in the house the triplets built. First possession for the Cardinals to start their second half, up by 4. And Palmer will start with a handoff to Ellington. Flag is thrown. A gain of 6. It's a hold. Looks like against Arizona.
Holding. Offense. Number 89. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 1st down.
It's Carlson who has one of the 2 touchdowns today for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they motioned him across, and he's responsible there for blocking Kyle Wilbur. That's the hold that the official got him on. It was a nice gain, too, by Ellington, who ran the ball well there in the first half. About as well as they've run the ball here in a number of weeks.
There's the day for Carson Palmer. Ellington has got 68 rushing yards, 31 through the air. 1st and 20. Back to him, right side, goes right around Brandon Carr and picks up 7. Carr has taken some bad angles in this game trying to bring down Ellington.
Well, that was an outstanding move by Brandon Carr. Got up a little bit slow after that play. I don't know if it was pride or if he hurt himself, but Andre Ellington put a pretty good move on Brandon Carr and being able to pick up some extra yardage on that run.
Got 7, 2nd and 13. Palmer steps up, Scott Brown, and he dropped it. John Brown found a wide open hole in this Cowboy defense and couldn't make the catch.
That was a great job by Carson Palmer with the pressure off the edge. Anthony Spencer, and because he has a clean pocket, he's able to step up. He delivers a strike to Brown and just a flat out drop.
5th drop of this game for Arizona. And with that, it's 3rd and 13. Four-man rush. Palmer slides to his left, throws it into the ground. 4th down. Carlson, the intended target. There was pressure again from Henry Melton, who is slowly but surely getting healthier and healthier. Should be a force for this Cowboy team by the end of the year.
Well, I thought he was a great acquisition in the offseason. They lost Jason Hatcher. He went to the Washington Redskins. And Henry Melton, prior to his injury, Joe, I thought he was about as dominant an interior lineman as there was in football, and he is starting to get back to where he was at that time.
Mr. Pro Bowler 2 years ago for the torn knee. Here's Harris. Harris to the sideline, tiptoeing And good field position with Butler, the punter, in on the tackle. And then the two teams start to shove after the play. 27-yard return by Dwayne Harris. Cowboys good starting field position after the good return by number 17. Brandon Weeden back to work. Down by 4. Well, there's Bruce Arians, second year in the desert in Arizona. He is unfiltered. He is as refreshing a quote as any head coach in the NFL. He's the antithesis of Bill Belichick, who you expect to flatline during a press conference. Arians says whatever crosses his mind. And he told his team, don't let anybody dress in your locker come February. Explain that after this first down play. Here's Murray. Not much up the middle, gets 2. The reason he said that is Super Bowl 49 will be played in the Arizona home stadium in Glendale on February 1st, and he wants his team there playing a home game against the representative from the AFC.
Unfiltered was a good way of putting it. He is very candid, and it's refreshing to visit with him. And I think he's a guy who is really appreciating the opportunity to be a head coach. I mean, he came along, the opportunity did late because of the illness of Chuck Pagano in Indianapolis. He made the most of it there. He's made the most of it here. He's a heck of a football coach. He's been a great offensive coordinator in this league for a long time. Now he's showing what he can do as a head coach.
Whedon pass for Bryant. Flag is down. Bryant made the juggling catch, but a flag thrown in the secondary. And even that little pass was wide of Dez Bryant, who had to leap to grab it. And we'll see what the call is from referee Craig Wolstad.
Well, James Hanna, he's walking off the field. I don't know if he stretched a hamstring or what on the play, but he's hobbled over there.
Defense, number 94. That's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Sam Acho guilty of a trip. I think it's hard for the average fan to believe that in this game in the NFL, tripping is illegal, but it is.
Everything's illegal.
There you go. Knee to knee, leg to leg, and that's...
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional, Joe, but once he got the leg extended, it sure looked like a trip.
And that's a big call. That gives Dallas a first down at the Arizona 42. Whedon's got to get hot for Dallas. They're going to win this game. Because right now the running game is doing nothing. DeMarco Murray, no gain. There was a little stretch in the first half where DeMarco Murray got it going, but you can just see the body language of number 29. He's frustrated.
Well, Joe, there just hasn't been the movement and the push that you're used to seeing. Watch the offensive line here. Zach Martin at right guard. Just no movement there in the middle. Dan Williams is holding his own. He's got the sack, which was a big play, but he has been the key to this run defense here today. We heard Aaron Andrews coming out to start this half. 2 runs by DeMarco Murray, a 17-yarder and a 10-yarder. Other than that, the Cardinals have shut him down.
Whedon finds Beasley. Nice move. Got a first down at the 30. And little Cole Beasley, who is 5'8", 180, played at SMU, went around Powers and got a first down.
This is the type of things that Cole Beasley does really well, changing direction. You're trying to play the angles. Powers is expecting him to continue after he catches the ball. He comes out of that and picks up a nice gain.
That's the first catch in this game by a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, and it sets up a first down at the 30. Try it again. Murray, a good tackle. That tackle was made by Lorenzo Alexander, longtime Washington Redskin. If Alexander doesn't bring down Murray, he's still running.
Well, that's the other part of this too, Joe, is you can bottle up the running game and limit them to just a couple yard gains, but the Cowboys have shown this year they're going to stick with it, and that's really the key. And as they move through this second half, then some of those 3-4 yard gains are going to turn into 7-8 yard gains, and you just start wearing down a defensive front with this big offensive line.
Do it again. He's got room to run. Lowers his shoulder. Murray's got a first down inside the 20. How long has it been, Troy? The Dallas Cowboys run a league high for 32 times a game running the ball, and people here, especially the local media, has been screaming for that for years.
Well, and you don't pin it all on the drafting of Zach Martin, but I think that there was a conscious decision when they decided to draft Zach Martin and not Manziel. The team said, we're going to commit ourselves to running the football, and we see the dividends that it's paid for.
Here's Murray right side, and the free agent to be picks up a yard. DeMarco started the day with over 1,000 yards. The all-time record, 1984, second year in the league for Eric Dickerson, 2105 of the LA Rams.
I mentioned Johnny Manziel. Could you imagine what this week would have been like had they have drafted Johnny Football?
No. No, his frustration building in Cleveland as he plays behind Hoyer. And it's Brandon Weeden instead of Kyle Orton. That's worth revisiting. Manziel or anybody else in relief of the injured Tony Romo. 2nd and 9. Whedon. That pass lucky to not be picked as Dez Bryant got popped by Dayon Buchanan. 3rd and 9.
Now you're going to see the route. He's running an underneath route, and Brandon Weeden, you have to protect your receiver. You got to look out in front and see who then can take that away. And it was going to be a big-time collision whether the ball was on the money or not.
It's starting to look like Whedon's aware that Bryant doesn't have a catch, and he's starting to force it into number 88. Bad things happen when you do that.
Well, it does, and yet, you know, he's such a big personality. You want to get the ball into his hands to pacify him, and it's a recipe for bad things to happen.
3rd down and 9, blitz. They're all coming. Whedon steps up. He's picked. Matthew. Interception in front of Jason Witten, and a big turnover as Tyron Matthews
threw the ball behind him, Joe. You can't do that on an out-breaking route.
And there it is, his first of the year. The Honey Badger with a pick, and the Cardinals have it up 4.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon XLTE on America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network.
Each side with a pick. This is the first time the Arizona Cardinals have played in this stadium. 3rd time for Tyron Matthews. Played at LSU, played here in a Cotton Bowl. Here's Ellington. He gets smoked at the 19-yard line. No gain, and he also played here against Oregon. And this guy, Troy, is just getting healthy, Tyron Matthews.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing for opponents that they're getting ready to face. Tyron Matthews had a nice game last week in that win against the Philadelphia Eagles. Had a chance to visit with him on the field before the game. He's still got that big brace on his knee, and it's slowing him down a little bit, but he's becoming the playmaker that we saw of him before the injury and what we saw a lot of there at LSU.
A lot of frustration for the Cowboys on their sideline. Wide open is Floyd. He drops it. Ball is out. It looked like Floyd got back on top of it. A gain of 5 and a 3rd down coming up, and he just dropped it.
Yeah, well, he runs into Jaron Brown in the back of him as he's trying to look like Skandrick may have gotten a hand in there as well as he was trying to get more yardage out of the play. They're fortunate not to have given the ball back to the Cowboys with a short field.
So Whedon, Romo, Linehan, Callahan, everybody trying to figure out for Dallas on their sideline. 3rd down here. Four men on the rush. Pass caught. Fitzgerald, first down. A stiff arm, a big hit, still going. And the guy who Bruce Arians said is in the best shape of his life and likely headed to the Hall of Fame has 20 yards.
Well, it's a good route here in the middle. You're going to see the middle of the field open up. They stack the receivers. You're playing man coverage, and the defender then gets locked up in all the bodies. It frees up Larry Fitzgerald to run that slant route with nobody there. It was Tyler Patman who was responsible in coverage, but just a well-designed play, and he couldn't navigate all the people.
This one is tipped in the air and caught by Brown. Skandrick got a hand on it, and somehow it still maintained its course and dropped into the arms of Jaron Brown.
You know, normally a ball gets that high in the air off a deflection, you're just trying to knock it down, and Brown, he looked like he was almost fielding a punt. He just waited casually for it to come back to where he could catch it. He didn't get any yards out of it, but pretty impressive for the young guy not overreacting.
On second down, a toss. Ellington running right. Ellington forced out of bounds for the first down. But a flag is down back at the 41, and the Arizona offense is hanging back. We'll get the call. Rolstad is the referee. Here we go.
Personal foul, shot block. Offense, number 69. It's a 15-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
I keep saying numbers that aren't on that specific unit. They should say send line, 68. That's who it's against. And that wipes away a first down and a 12-yard carry by Ellington on the toss running right.
Yeah, you can go down low if you're blocking adjacent to someone who's engaged with a defender, but those plays there, they're trying to get out of the game. Remember Calais Campbell for the Cardinals, he suffered a knee injury against the Denver Broncos on one of those illegal chops.
Yeah, that was Julius Thomas, and thankfully for the Cardinals, Calais Campbell in that week 5 injury with the knee injury is in his second game back and about 80%. They need him.
The new spot is correct.
So they change the spot of the football. They move it up just inside the 29. Second and 25 after that call against send line. Setting up a screen for Ellington, a blocker out front, and Ellington dives forward. They're going to mark him inches outside the 35, a gain of 7. New this season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Now third down and 18.
Not many plays for third and 18, although last week in London, Joe, Matthew Stafford had third and 25, and he threw a strike to Golden Tate for about a 70-yard touchdown.
But that was in England.
Yes, it was.
Now we're in the United States and Texas. Third down and 18. Palmer. He's got Ginn. Ginn looking to find a first down. He won't get it. Knocked down at the 49 of the Dallas Cowboys, a gain of 15 by J.J. Wilcox.
That was a good call in just giving yourself a chance to try to come up with the first down. If you're unable to get it, then you reverse field position. So with a good punt here, they have an opportunity to pin Dallas pretty deep in their own territory.
And then throw it all on Brandon Weeden in this offense. Butler hits it. Not a great punt. Not awful, but down at the 15. A little room for Whedon in the offense. Back to the field, down 4. Our Hall of Fame spotlight this week shines on Randy White. Cowboys' first pick in 75 out of Maryland. Great career, spanned 14 seasons, co-MVP with Harvey Martin in Super Bowl 12. Inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in '94. A guy, Troy, I don't know if you know this, but they first tried him in middle linebacker and then moved him, and he caught fire when he went to the defensive line.
Yeah, out of Maryland, and a guy who retired right when I was coming in 1989. I got to play with Ed Too Tall Jones, which was a real privilege. Didn't get the chance to play with Randy White. He still lives here locally. He's got a barbecue restaurant, does a lot of ads. He's a spokesman for a lot of companies, just an all-around good guy.
From the 16, a toss to Dunbar, and that's stretched out well by the Arizona defense. Dunbar doing all he can. But this has been another great effort by Arizona's front, shutting down a running game.
It really has, Joe. This defensive front for the Cardinals has been exceptional. Dan Williams on the nose has held his own, and that's really the key. Travis Frederick, as a second-year player, is very athletic, and he does an outstanding job of moving the nose tackle out of the way, reaching those guys, but Dan Williams has hung in there, and it's allowed the other guys to be able to make plays and stretch DeMarco Murray to the sideline.
Now it's Campbell over the center for Arizona. Passes behind Terrence Williams. And he and Brandon Weeden not on the same page at all. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, you got Terrence Williams, who's expecting to go deep, and Brandon Weeden is expecting him to run a curl route. Just not on the same page at all. And I talked about it coming in, Joe. There isn't the changes at the line of scrimmage as there is when Romo's at quarterback. He'll signal out, change the routes for the receiver. So whatever confusion has taken place is happening by what's being called in the huddle, and you wouldn't expect that to happen for a guy who's gotten as much work with this offense during the week as Whedon has this year.
On 3rd down, pass is out of the reach of Dez Bryant, but a flag. And they're going to throw it on Peterson.
Yeah, Dez Bryant, he got that one. You know, if he doesn't come up and complain, this flag came in so late. The official who's right on top of it, he doesn't throw the flag at all. It comes from the back judge.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 21. It's a 5-yard penalty. An automatic 1st down.
There was as much going the other way from Dez Bryant on Patrick Peterson, and Bruce Arians, I think rightfully so, can't believe it.
Yeah, it's right in front of Bruce Arians. It's right in front of the Cardinals bench, so he had a great look at it. Yeah, I agree with Bruce Arians. Dez Bryant is obviously frustrated with the lack of catches, but you know, he was grabbing Peterson more than Peterson was grabbing him.
Handoff is to Murray. A flag is thrown. And we'll see if this is a hold against Dallas.
Tripping. Offense number 70. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay. 1st down.
Now each side has a tripping call as they get Zach Martin.
There's Zach Martin right here, right guard. We'll take a look and see exactly what happened.
Yeah, he went down and then got his leg up and got it in the way of Tommy Kelly. Kelly went down. They called a trip.
I didn't like that call either.
1st and 20. Whedon, quick setup. There's Harris. And Harris is out across the 25 to the 26, a gain of 12 with under 2 to go, 3rd quarter. Well, when they say that a guy like Tony Romo is out and he can play depending on how much pain he can tolerate, one thing Tony Romo has proven in his NFL career is that he's tough. And if he's not able to go today, you know he's in some pain with those fractures in his back.
Kill.
So it's on Whedon, 2nd and 8. Here's Murray, and he breaks loose. DeMarco Murray's got a 1st down. Out to the 35, a gain of 9.
Well, the Cardinals decide to bring the blitz. They're coming off the edges. And what has to happen then, you're running the football. If you can break through that offense, or if you can break through that initial line, there's nobody there except the safety. Matthew, he's able to come up and make a play. They got around Murray's ankles, but I've seen a lot of big runs back when I was playing for Emmitt Smith with teams coming up trying to fill the gaps. You make one guy miss and it's off to the races.
Murray again, right side. Just tripped up at the end. And it was Rucker who tripped him. A gain of 6. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
And Joe, the big question for Tony Romo is what happens next. The team, of course, leaves for London on Monday. Tomorrow, the Dallas Cowboys have said history with this injury. You miss a game and then you come back in. You're ready to go the very next day. So that's what the Cowboys are anticipating. They expect him to be on the flight to London, and as of right now, they expect him to play against Jacksonville.
You know, Joe, Mark Stepnoski back in '98, he played He played with that same injury an entire season, so it sounds worse than it is, and it is just about being able to manage it. I would expect him to be back as well.
Dallas going for win number 7, trailing by 4 as we go to the 4th. Back after this from your local Fox station. Talk about all these weapons for Dallas. Dez Bryant, Terrence Williams, no catches today. Dez Bryant has been shut out only once his rookie year in November of 2010 against New Orleans. He's gone 56 straight games with a catch. Handoff is to Joseph Randle. And Randle on second down picks up 2, 3rd and short coming up.
Well, and it doesn't help, Joe, that Dez Bryant's in a contract year. And that's certainly not weighing on his mind here today. But without that contract, then he wants to come out and show what he's capable of doing. And I do think that there's some added pressure during a season, with that hanging out there and there being some uncertainty as what your future looks like.
Word during the week that Dez changed agents. Be hard to believe the Cowboys would let him get away. Out of the shotgun on 3rd down, Whedon is going to take off and wrapped up short of a first down by Ed Stinson. What a play. And it will force a 4th down and half a yard, and Dallas will punt.
That's really a great job. As you see, he had open field, and if he's able to break that, he picks up the first down without any problem whatsoever. Ed Stinson comes off the block, gets Whedon on the ground, and I know this is painful right now for Jason Garrett to have to punt here with 4th and less than a foot.
Good punt by Jones. And will stay away, and it's going to go out of bounds inside the 20. Brandon Weeden could not pick it up. Frustration for Dallas. Arizona with the ball up 4. Starting at their own 16, looking for a long drive as they lead by 4. Arizona. On first down, Ellington tripped up. Brought down with a gain of 3, and a penalty flag flies.
Illegal hands to the face, defense number 99. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
Look at George Selvey.
Here's right here at defensive end, and a couple calls now against the Cowboys with hands to the face. Couldn't tell if he actually was underneath the.
Yeah.
Yep, sure is. So, a costly penalty for the Cowboys to get the Cardinals further away from their own goal line.
Ball now out across the 25. On first down, it's Brown. On the end around, he's swallowed up in the backfield by Hitchens. Let's go to Kurt for the game break.
All right, how about a 4-play, 70-yard drive for the Eagles, all on the ground, capped off by Chris Polk with an 8-yard touchdown run. Mark Sanchez was just picked off by Houston, but still the Eagles were up by 10 in the 3rd quarter. Joe, Troy, and Aaron.
All right, so again, you've got Philadelphia half game behind Dallas in the NFC East. 6-2 to 5-2. 2nd down and 14. That pass high for Fitzgerald, had to go up and get it, and down he goes. Hitchens and Selvey out there. No gain, 3rd and long coming up.
As soon as Larry Fitzgerald had to go up to make that catch, the play is essentially over. It's just too quick of a hitter to not execute it better than that, and it delays the ability for Fitzgerald to get going up the field, and then you've got pursuit by the Cowboys. That play was doomed from the start.
3rd down and 13. Cowboys back out of the blitz. Down goes Palmer. And a stop for this Dallas defense. And there's Melton again. Spencer in there as well, and a big stop for this Cowboys group defensively.
Well, Melton's going to come around. You're going to see the lane that he's able to create on the twist inside. Fanica doesn't come off of his man and pick it up. A four-man rush, and they get pressure on Carson Palmer. It's a great job of getting off the field.
So remember, the Cowboys had to punt on 4th and about half a yard in midfield, and the defense does a nice job to give Dallas now a first down inside the Arizona 45. But now it's Arizona's defense back to work as they have handled Whedon and the Cowboy offense to this point.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. By Canon. And by State Farm. Pump up your savings with a discount double check today.
This game was 14-10 at the half. It's 14-10 with 11 minutes left. Look at what the offense has done by way of total yards today, averaging just over 400 yards per game. Only halfway to their season low, and it's with Whedon at quarterback. Campbell made the first hit as DeMarco Murray picks up 2. And remember how this first half ended with a blocked field goal, second in the career of Dan Bailey. Justin Bethel got it, and then Jason Witten chased down Patrick Peterson on the return of the blocked field goal to save a touchdown. The Dallas offense, which does not have a touchdown in this game, needs one here in the 4th.
Well, they're just about in Dan Bailey range already.
Second and 8, and just getting it away is Whedon as he gets hit by Frosty Rucker.
Well, Frosty Rucker, he just comes untouched. You see 98 as he comes right at Brandon Weeden. That's a quick pass. It's a 3-step drop pass, and a quarterback's on his back. That's not supposed to happen.
This offensive line had a poor game against Washington and not that good here against Arizona. 3rd down and 8. They're bringing him again. Whedon out to his right has got Whedon, and Whedon depends on the spot, and they're going to mark him right at the marker. We may have a measurement coming up. They're going to say 4th down already. Inches short.
That's Tyron Matthews who's able to come up and make the tackle before Whedon is able to pick up that first down. Brandon Weeden is able to escape the pressure and get the completion, and the Cowboys are going for it here on 4th down.
Looked like Dallas got a favorable spot as it was. Less than a yard away. Here's Murray, and Murray is going to drive forward. We'll see where they spot it. Doesn't look like he got it.
Doesn't look like it's even close, Joe, based on where they're coming in and spotting this ball.
What a stop by this Arizona defense, and the first guy there was the rookie Buchanan. Dayon Buchanan. What a play off the edge, and the Cowboys turn it over on downs.
There's that 4th down play, and the job that Dan Williams and Calais Campbell do in not allowing the Cowboys to get any kind of push whatsoever. Dayon Buchanan comes off the edge, and he's the one who finishes the play. But Dan Williams and Calais Campbell, they have had a great afternoon in this game against what is arguably the best offensive line in football.
Palmer's going to throw on 1st down. He's got a man, Floyd. And so the pressure back on the Dallas defense. Opportunity for Arizona and their offense up 4. Week 9 continues. Later today, what a matchup. Denver and New England. The snow falling in New England. And then Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. 2nd and 1 for Carson Palmer. It's Ellington, 1st down.
You look at that matchup between Brady and Manning. I think it was Bob Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, who said earlier it's like Bird versus Magic, and that's really what that game has become between two great quarterbacks. You never get tired of watching those two compete, regardless of what uniform Manning's been in.
Yeah, it's going to be today with snow having fallen, windy, cold in Foxborough. From the 46, Ellington, nothing. Lost a yard. Nick Whedon on the stop for the Dallas defense. A field goal here by Arizona makes it a 7-point game, and Dez Bryant still looking for his first. Same for Terrence Williams. The offense has not been effective for Dallas with Romo on the sideline. Bruce Arians guiding Palmer through it. He's got 2 touchdowns and a pick. Palmer has time. Sideline for Ginn. He's got it. What a catch by Ted Ginn inside the 30. Got both feet down, 27 yards.
That's a great job by Ted Ginn Jr. of getting his feet down and in play. The catch was as good as the throw. There's a little void there.
Hurrying it up, Arizona. It's Ellington. They caught the defense. And a flag is thrown out on the edge as Ellington is out of bounds at the 11.
The Cardinals not sure whether or not Ginn got his feet in. They rush to the line of scrimmage. They want to get the ball snapped.
The indication is it's against Dallas. If so, it's a first down at the 11.
12 men on the field against the defense. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Let's go back to that catch by Ginn.
This is cover 2 by the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the safety. He's going to help out over the top. You've got to drive the ball between the corner and the safety if you've got any chance, and that ball has to be on a rope. And Ted Ginn to be able to go up and make a play on that, that wasn't a bust in coverage. It was good coverage. That's just the weakness within that zone, and Carson Palmer delivers the perfect ball.
First down at the 11. Quick throw, pass caught, and Fitzgerald is down near the 1. Barry Church on the stop, and Arizona leading by 4, knocking on the door with first and goal.
Well, this is an impressive drive after the defense makes a 4th down stop, knowing that they've got a 4-point lead and a chance to extend this to a 2-possession game. And now here they are, first and goal.
It's Ellington. Mclean made the stop. Second and goal.
And this red zone offense for the Arizona Cardinals hasn't been easy this year. In fact, Bruce Arians has talked about, the closer they get, it seems like the harder it becomes. And see whether or not Dallas is able to hold up here on 2nd down and 3rd down and force the Cardinals to maybe have to settle for a field goal.
31st ranked red zone offense is Arizona. Second and goal. Palmer out to his right, throws it away. And that stops the clock with 6:05 left. 3rd and goal coming up. Selvey with pressure on Carson Palmer.
Yeah, Carson Palmer just unable to get away from Selvey to buy more time. So he just has to throw it out of the back of the end zone to avoid from getting sacked.
3rd down and goal. Palmer keeps it. He's got his man. Touchdown, Ellington. Ellington's got his 2nd touchdown reception of the season. And with the extra point coming, it could be an 11-point game.
That's a great call by Bruce Arians. He tries the exact same play on second down. The Cowboys cover it up well. You're anticipating run. With a yard to go, he comes right back with the same action and gets Ellington into the flat. The Cowboys have to commit. They're thinking run as well. Leaves them wide open for the touchdown.
Looked like the rookie Hitchens got caught up inside. That is 3 third-down touchdown passes thrown by Carson Palmer. And it started with a defensive stop. So good on the interior defensive line for Arizona. Ginn the catch. And then the touchdown throw to Ellington. How about Arizona? 6-1, leading by 11.
Today's game is sponsored by the new Samsung Galaxy Note 4. The next big thing is here.
The best start for the Arizona Cardinals at 6-1. Best start since 1974. The year they won the East. And look at that scoring drive. Ellington good from a yard away. And it's an 11-point game. The Dallas offense has been shut out as far as touchdowns are concerned. Dallas has a defensive score, the first points of the day, then a field goal followed. 21 unanswered points put up by the Cardinals to lead by 11. And Whedon cannot get the ball to the wide receivers for Dallas. Just 2 catches among them all for 24 yards. Why not give it a shot, says Dwayne Harris. Makes a move and spins out to the 25. Bethel on the tackle, 33-yard return. Here comes Whedon. He's got his work cut out for him, down 11. Tonight, be sure to turn to Fox Sports Live as they have a one-on-one conversation with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, plus recaps and analysis of a full day in the NFL here in Week 9. Fox Sports Live tonight, 11 Eastern only on Fox Sports 1. Well, this offense for Dallas has not done much of anything down the field.
The biggest play they've had in this game is a screen pass to Lance Dunbar. Just one attempt beyond 20 yards in this game. They're going to have to get some chunks as we move through the next 5.5 minutes of this game.
Out of the backfield, it's Murray. 2 guys out there for Arizona. And he's able to break away for a moment, get out of bounds, and get back to the line of scrimmage. How about nothing today for the big wideouts for Dallas?
Yeah, and you would think that, well, maybe they're coming up with some exotic coverages. It's pretty basic what they're doing. I mean, they're lining up. It's Patrick Peterson on Dez Bryant without a whole lot of help most of the time, and they've been unable to get the ball in his hands.
Here's pick. Interception by Cromartie. They're going to mark him down after the pick. And this may very well wrap it up for Arizona on their way to a 7-1 start. Second interception thrown by Whedon as Cromartie stepped in front for his 3rd pick.
Well, Terrence Williams has to drive back to the ball at the top of the route. Now, excuse me, that ball should have been thrown out on the sidelines. The way the ball was thrown, it looked like a curl route. Terrence Williams is expecting the ball out on the sidelines. It's a ball that's thrown behind him, and it opens the door then for Antonio Cromartie to come underneath that throw for the interception. As you see at the top of the screen, that ball's got to be out on the boundary. Cromartie with 2 interceptions last week, and that win against Philadelphia comes up with a big play in this game.
Meanwhile, as you say, Cromartie 3 over the last 2 weeks. We saw Antonio just get shredded by Demaryius Thomas in that game at Denver. But he's a vet. Here's Grice. And Grice is good for 4 yards, brought down by DeMarcus Lawrence. And this brings up the situation with Kyle Orton as a timeout is taken by Dallas. Orton was released in year 3 of a 3-year deal, the former backup to Tony Romo. There was frustration there. It looked like he was just going to walk away from the game. They end up releasing him. He goes to Buffalo. Now he's the starter for a team that's only a game out in the AFC East. And the Cowboys are left with Whedon, who has not had a good day here at all.
Well, Kyle Orton is a good football player. The Cowboys knew that. There's a lot of speculation as to what the relationship was like with Romo. Maybe that initiated him wanting to depart. Whatever the reason was, he was a guy who could come in and win a lot of games. Now, Brandon Weeden, he's a first-round talent. He's had 20 starts coming into this game. He's won games in this league. But some of the throws for a guy who has gotten as much work as he has had in this offense throughout the offseason, 1 day a week, I'm surprised to see the miscommunication.
Pass is caught. And down inside the 10, Robert Hughes. He survives a big hit and sets up first and goal for Carson Palmer and the Cardinals. And now Rolando Mclean, the middle linebacker, can't get up. And these linebackers have been just wrecked by injuries. And now it does not look good for Mclean. Let's watch 55. Doesn't look like much there, but he can't get up.
Yeah, you know, if anybody was going to get hurt on that play, you'd have thought it would have been J.J. Wilcox. He's the one who came in and made the big hit. I'm not sure exactly what that is with Mclean.
So they look at him. He'll lip away. Over 5 to go here in Arlington. Rolando Mclean will get attention on the sideline. His day is likely finished, as Dallas will point toward a London meeting with Jacksonville next. They leave tomorrow night. And you can see that left knee kind of give as Rolando Mclean was going in for that tackle on Hughes. They need him to be healthy. But Dallas down by 11. Arizona about to go in, about to go to 7-1. They are next at home against St. Louis, at home against Detroit. I mean, it's all right there for the Arizona Cardinals here to just pile up wins.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big game in terms of what it's going to look like moving into January. The Cardinals are going to be in the playoffs, and in all likelihood, the Cowboys are going to be in the playoffs. And if they meet, where's that game going to be played? The Cowboys, coming out of this game, 5 of their next 7 games are on the road. You know, so they've got a pretty tough stretch. Now, they've obviously shown an ability to win on the road. They're yet to lose. Their 2 losses have come here at home.
Here we go.
They lost the opener to the 49ers, lost last Monday night to Washington. Here's a toss to Grice. They see what they have in the young running back that we saw in the preseason with San Diego. He looked good. Hayden on the tackle, a gain of 5, and Grice down to the 1, and now Hayden is slow to get up, holding that right arm. You talked about it, Troy. Here's the Dallas schedule. They are in London next week against Jacksonville. Then they have their bye week. They're at the Giants. We'll be here on Thanksgiving for a date with the Eagles, and then at Chicago. Still not that daunting of a schedule coming up. But you wonder where Tony Romo will be. They fully expect, as we heard Aaron say earlier, Romo to play next week against Jacksonville in London, and it looks like they are going to desperately need him to get back in there.
Yeah, I mean, had they have played better offensively here today, do you play Romo next week, or do you give him another week with the bye following?
Here's Grice. Grice, nothing. Jeremy Mincy on the tackle. 3rd down and goal, and a timeout taken by the Cowboys, their final one. Well, the Arizona Cardinals are on their way to a 7-1 start, and maybe you have to be a pessimistic Cardinals fan to say, well, when's the other shoe going to drop? Are they going to float back down to earth? I don't see it. I mean, this is a well-coached, hard-nosed team, and they're off to an unbelievable start.
They really are. It's a credit to these players. It's a credit to this staff, and they've got a pretty good coaching staff, starting with Bruce Arians. This is a 10-win team from a year ago without a number of key guys, as we've talked about, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that contributed to those 10 wins. I've been impressed with the Cardinals. They're in a tough division with San Francisco and Seattle, but right now, you know, they come out of here with this win. They're the best in the NFC.
Yeah, they are. They're the #1 seed. They have a 3rd and goal here. Handoff. Grice is going to fight. No signal yet. And they're going to mark him into the end zone for the touchdown. And for Marion Grice, his first in the NFL. And another Dallas player is down on the turf. And who is it? It's Tyrone Crawford. That defense getting thinner and thinner as we go, and Grice was not going to be denied until that second effort, and there he is getting in.
He got it in, and Faneca gives him a little help. Right now for the Cowboys, Tyrone Crawford on the ground, and he's been one of their better performers along that defensive line. We already saw Rolando Mclean go down. Now Tyrone Crawford, how significant is this injury, but starting to take its toll on this Cowboys team.
Saw Whedon walk off holding his arm. And the Arizona Cardinals will tell you we don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Arizona lost Darrell Washington to his year-long suspension, their inside linebacker. Darnell Dockett to a knee injury. Pass rush specialist John Abraham, 5-time Pro Bowler who had 11.5 sacks a year ago, to concussion issues. They're playing without Matt Shaughnessy, who's on IR, designated to return. Carlos Dansby's in Cleveland. I mean, they're missing a lot, and they're still playing great. And you can see Crawford right in the middle. And that right leg got caught under some bodies. That's why he is slow to walk off the field under his own power.
Joe, when it's all said and done in this league, as we know, injuries are a part of the game. They're going to happen each and every week, and it's who's able to overcome those. And, you know, nobody feels sorry for anybody in this league when they start losing players. I think you make a good point. What the Cardinals have been able to overcome and are overcoming now has been impressive.
It is a touchdown.
Call confirmed, so a touchdown. The extra point would make it 28-10.
You know, and Bruce Arians felt that coming into this game that they were about as healthy as they've been all season. They're expecting Shaughnessy to come back. That's a good sign for this team as they move into the second half of their season, starting to get their guys back on the field feeling good.
For those of us who grew up in St. Louis, you remember the Cardinals football teams of the 70s. They had some talent. 1974, they started 7-0. They finished 10-4 to win the NFC East. That was Jim Hart, coached by Don Coryell. Terry Metcalf, the running back. Cornerback Roger Worley, just a gem of a guy. Wide receiver Mel Gray, instrumental in the Cardinals' success. And now it's Arizona, not 7-0, but 7-1. And leading that tough NFC West.
Yeah, and that, you know, dome there in Arizona has become a difficult place to play. You know, teams that have gone there, they've created a home field advantage. Ken Wisenhunt came in, he takes them to the Super Bowl, and then you got Bruce Arians, who has taken over here over the last couple of years. But the fans there in Arizona have gotten a chance to watch some pretty good football here in recent years.
And let's credit the defensive coordinator who used to assist here in Dallas, Todd Bowles. He played for Bruce Arians at Temple, and Bruce told us he thought when he was playing for him, and as the years went on, that the roles would be reversed. That Todd would be the head coach and Arians would be his offensive coordinator. This combination is working brilliantly for a team that's on its way to 7-1. Harris on the return, and an 18-point game now. He can't make it to the 15-yard line. Saturday, the UFC returns to Fox Sports 1 with an epic night of fights from Brazil, including a big showdown between Shogun and Ovens St. Preux. UFC night is Saturday, 10:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. This could be the second time Dez Bryant is shut out in a game. There are fantasy owners who were thinking this would be a year where he would just roll week after week. Nothing today. Same for Terrence Williams until now. His first catch.
I spoke a little bit earlier, Joe, saying I would anticipate that Romo would be back next week in London against Jacksonville, but there's no guarantee on that either. You know, he hasn't practiced yet. You know, he hasn't gotten out and tried to go through the movements and throw the football, and whether or not he's going to be able to play, we'll find out. But if These are important reps right now for Brandon Weeden, regardless of what the score is.
Here's Williams, back-to-back catches. Meanwhile, I mean, if you're Tony Romo, you've been through a bad back. I've been through a bad back. Seems like the world's been through a bad back. He's had 2 surgeries on his low back. His last one was in December after that Week 16 game in Washington. And even though they say, well, transverse process, not a big deal, in the long run, he should be able to play. That low back is really compromised. This one is out of the reach of Terrence Williams. So while they say it's not a big deal, you have to be concerned for a guy that's had 2 procedures on that back.
Well, no doubt. I mean, it's not a big deal that in and of itself, but I think when you combine it with the back surgeries that you speak of, you start compensating for other areas, and then you do bring into play some of the other parts of your back, and whether or not that then is going to become a factor. It's certainly a concern within this organization. The surgeries are a concern. The transverse process is a concern. And until he's on the field playing, everyone's holding their breath over there.
Here's a toss to Dunbar. He's got a first down. Brought down from behind by Deone Buchanan. Buchanan's turned into a good player, and another hit by this front office. A first-round pick out of Washington State. He made that good play on 4th and inches, which led to the touchdown, which made it an 11-point game at the time. Now it's 18 points. That happened in this 4th quarter. Whedon looking for help, throws it away. 2nd and 10.
Well, we saw the pass rush today for the Cardinals, get after Brandon Weeden a little bit, and they were outstanding against the run. I don't believe for a minute that the Cowboys thought that they wouldn't be able to come in here and run the football effectively and help take pressure off of Brandon Weeden, because they've done it against everybody that they have faced. Give this Cardinals defensive front a lot of credit, but if they start being able to get pressure on the quarterback, they have an outstanding secondary. This defense is going to become something very, very special if that happens.
2nd and 10. Here's Whedon. Whedon the catch and out of bounds inside the 40. Meanwhile, DeMarco Murray, it appears, will have his 100-yard game streak end at 8. The NFL record to start the season. His day. Still a good day, but not what we've come to expect in 2014. 19 for 79 yards on the ground. This team will sleep tonight, get up tomorrow, and head to London tomorrow night.
That's a long enough flight without the hangover of a performance like this.
180.
Blitz coming from Arizona. Whedon is in trouble and is going to run. Slide for a positive gain. And we'll go to Kurt Menefee, standing by with a game break.
Well, it looks like the Eagles' Jeremy Maclin is getting it going. 187 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. 158, 2 touchdowns this week. That one from Mark Sanchez. They're up by 10 in Houston. 3:50 left to play. Joe, Troy, and Aaron.
And into first place, Kurt, the Philadelphia Eagles will go if they hang on. Here's Whedon. Whedon still playing. We're at the 2-minute warning here in Arlington, Texas. Arizona on their way to a 7-1 start. What a day for Todd Bowles and this Cardinal defense. Carson Palmer should be thrilled with the job he's done. Top 10 in quarterback rating coming in. Missed 3 games. 4th game back. He was good today. Pass is out of the reach of Terrence Williams from Brandon Weeden. It's 2nd down and 10. And just to finish, right knee injuries for Tyrone Crawford and Rolando Mclean. They will not return today. And the question for Jason Garrett, and that look says it all. No offensive touchdown. Last came September of 2011 against Washington. None today. Question will be, how good are those guys for their game against Jacksonville next week? As you say, they've got a bye coming up after that trip. So some time to heal. Cowboys about to lose their second in a row. The third of the year. He's got Bryant, who has his first catch on Patrick Peterson, and a first down. And Dez Bryant, under 2 minutes to go, picks right now. So does Whedon to make this connection happen.
Yeah, I don't think Patrick Peterson didn't know that he didn't have a catch either. I mean, he was tight coverage considering they've got an 18-point lead. He was trying to pitch a shutout here today.
187.
Blitz. Whedon finds Dunbar out of bounds inside the 5. So Dunbar sets up first and goal for Brandon Weeden, who doesn't know if this is a one and done start-wise or if he's got another game next week.
Well, you mentioned Carson Palmer in the day that he had. Got off to a tough start, of course, as we saw with the interception return for the touchdown. Missed a couple throws, but I thought he really managed the game well, Joe, and made some beautiful throws, especially there in the second half. It's a good partnership between he and Bruce Arians and how they like to attack a defense with the players that they have.
First and goal. Touchdown Bryant. With 1:08 remaining in the game. And not even able to celebrate as Whedon, who's shaking his head coming off the field at the end of a tough day.
And Patrick Peterson is not happy about it, giving up this touchdown. He already had the one reception. We've seen this so many times from the Cowboys down here when they get down around the goal line, throw it up to Dez Bryant, whether it's on the fade route or him working back towards the pylon. He's just a difficult guy to cover. He's caught a lot of those balls over the course of his career.
Dez missed one of those last week against the Redskins. It's an 11-point game again. Double-header action next week on Fox NFL Sunday. You see the matchups on your screen. 49ers and Saints, good game early. America's game of the week, the Giants in Seattle, or the Rams and Cardinals. 3 teams out of the NFC West, and the other team early against the Saints. The Cowboys and Jaguars in London, Falcons and Bucks. It all starts with the Fox NFL Sunday kickoff show at 11 a.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1, followed by Fox NFL Sunday at noon Eastern right here.
Pretty interesting game next week that we've got with the Giants traveling to Seattle. A lot of drama there in the great Northwest with the Seahawks, and then the Giants. They've got a big game coming up. Coming off of their bye, they host Indianapolis.
That'll be on Monday night, Giants and the Colts. Time permitting, we will take you to the Redskins at the Vikings. And look at that game with 3.5 minutes to go there. Be Chris Myers, Rondé Barber, and Jennifer Hale will bring you that action. We expect the onside kick. Dallas out of timeouts, down by 11. Right into Fitzgerald's gut. And Larry Fitzgerald, who's had another nice day. 5 catches, 70 yards. After a big week, named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for his efforts against Philadelphia. 7 for 160 and a career-long 80-yard touchdown is there for Arizona. We'll have the kneel downs, and that's it.
Well, you talked about it, Joe, how things are shaping up for the Arizona Cardinals. With the win here today, they got the best record in the NFC, and you look at the wins that they've had. Last week's win against Philadelphia was big. This is a big win. 2 teams with the Cowboys and the Eagles that you would expect to be there when postseason begins and being able to help secure home field advantage. And then, of course, with a win already within the division against San Francisco. So Bruce Arians knows what his team has accomplished. He's quick to keep them from getting too confident in themselves. There's still a lot of football left to be played, but what a great start to this year.
We saw that first regular season win for the Cardinals in Dallas since '89. Troy. These are 2 teams that used to share a division. Not anymore. That'll do it. Arizona officially 7-1. And Bruce Arians, who was the AP Coach of the Year 2 years ago, filling in Indianapolis, a 10-win year last year, has got his team rolling. Now 17-7 as head coach of Arizona. Take a break, come back.